Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Community Updates right here on WJZZ Cool TV. I'm your host, Michelle White, and this evening we have Auntie Nay from Auntie Nay's house. And we're going to be speaking about some of the wonderful things that she's doing in the community and how she is helping to service people in the community that have needs. But before we get started, this is Community Updates, and we want to share some information with you. That get your pen and your pencil ready to take some information down. So first, I want to share with you that classes start for when you want to register for classes for January. Classes are starting all over. Registration has started for college courses, and for Wayne County Community College District, classes start January the 17th. But registration already started on September the 26th. So for those of you who are interested in signing up for courses remember, if you're 60 and above, all classes are free. And that's pretty much at any community college. All your courses are free, whatever it is, whether you're taking a needlepoint class or heating and cooling class, whatever class you choose. If you're 60 and above, those classes are free. So registration has started, and you want to go ahead and get registered now for classes. Also, I'd shared with you about one of the programs that the Michigan Residential Builders class. For those of you who are interested in building, getting your licensing for building, you see all the contracts that are out here and all over the land. Mm-hmm. Development is happening in every city all over the country. There's new developments happening. Many people are skilled in those areas but not licensed. Get your license. You already have the skills, but you've got to get the license. I can remember one of our mayors a long time ago, Mayor Archer, was telling people where to go and get their licensing. And at the time, the cost was $275 to get your license. Well, now it's $650. So go and get your license. You can contact, I have the number right here. You can contact them to go and get your license. But find it. It's called Michigan Residential Builders Pre-License Program. And that's just the one locally here. They have them all over. In every state, there's a program. You can have options to pay $325 to start. They have courses Monday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings. And they have courses in the evening. But go and get your license. I don't have the number right here, but look it up. Michigan Residential Builders Pre-License Program. And look that up and go and get your license. For those of you who are interested in the Lions Club, if you like wild game, I like wild game. I like deer. I like coon. I like pheasant. I like all of those things. Well, if anybody likes wild game, the Lions Club will have a wild game dinner at Bear Lake Camp. It's not until April the 8th, but we're starting now to tell people the tickets are $50 per person, and you can even get tables of 8. And Bear Lake Camp is a camp that helps children with disabilities and just children, period. It's a place where children go for free. Mm-hmm. And so all the donations for Bear Lake Camp are to help children go to camp during the summer for free. And that's through the Lions Club. Feel free to contact me at 248-238-4863 for further information. And then I've told you, we see all the time about the water. Our water system is just bad all over the country because we continue to pollute the water. And I remember when there was a campaign that don't pollute, don't throw things on the ground. I forget what they call it. They had a little owl or something.
Litter.
Litter. Don't be a litter bug.
Mm-hmm.
And that has stuck with me since the 70s. And so I don't throw things out when I have things that fill up in my car. I make sure I put them in a bag, or I drop dump them at the gas station or wherever there's going to be a receptacle for me to put them. Well, as a result of us not being better about our environment, we have now polluted our water all over. We see that it's dark in Mississippi, just all over the country, the water. So Ready Fresh is a company where you can get water, and it is, you want to contact Ready Fresh, and you can get, it's a water filtration system. I love it. I have it in my home right now, and I absolutely love it, that you can have spring water, alkaline water, and it's not cumbersome. It's similar to the Absopures, but not quite like that. And the number you can dial is 248-798-0232. 248-798-0232, and get your Ready Fresh filtration system in your home today. One last thing, also at Wayne County Community College District, coming up on December the 17th, I believe today is what, the 7th?
7, yes.
So in 10 more days, there is the Sounds of the Season, a holiday gift. The Michigan Philharmonic is doing a free concert at the Downriver campus of Wayne County Community College District. It'll be Saturday, December the 17th at 7:30 p.m. And tickets are available. If you'd like to go, you can contact the box office at area code 734-374-3200. It's important to expose our children not just to the music that we think we like. Number one, classical music helps stimulate the brain. So even listening to classical music is excellent even when you have your children in your womb. Let alone when you're moving around the house and doing other things. You don't always have to. I really like this new song. I liked it till I listened to the lyrics that Beyonce has out. And the people are doing this dance to it, but the music is, we gonna F it up tonight. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to put that in my system or my children or my grandbabies. And so I said, let me look up the words to this. But nonetheless, the Michigan Philharmonic will be doing Sounds of the Season, a holiday gift at Wayne County Community College District's Downriver campus. And to get tickets for Saturday, December the 17th at 7:30 p.m., you can call the box office at area code 734-374-3200. I am so glad to have Auntie Nay here this evening and tell us about her homes. You have homes for men and women, but primarily mothers and children, and then you have a warming center. Yes. And you're going to tell us how that got started and give us a little bit more of information about the wonderful things that you're doing with that and how we can help get the word out to the community. This is Community Updates, and we want to share all of the things that we can do. We were behind before we came on this evening, both sharing some of our testimony of how we got involved in different things. So we want you to feel free to call in today, and feel free to give us a call right here at the station at 313-355-6018. Again, you can catch us every Wednesday on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. But for those of you, if you have somebody that watching, call them now and tell them, say, hey, tune in, because they can tune in on YouTube at 6 p.m. and catch us, and or go to the WJZZ Cool TV Facebook page and see our programming. You can see all of the replays on YouTube as well as on my Facebook page at Michelle Turner White on Facebook. But again, feel free to call us here right this evening at area code 313-355-6018. So I want to hop right in and talk with Auntie Nay and tell us a little bit about your homes and how many homes you have and how you got started.
Well, How I got started. I often say I don't know how I got started. I just know we started.
Okay.
And I think for the most part, I grew into Auntie Nay's village with Auntie Nay's house. And Auntie Nay's house stemmed from me growing up right there on that cornerstone of Yellowstone. And I grew into knowing what it meant to be a neighbor, a family member, a friend, what that unity in that community was. And over the years, I watched that dissipate with the loss of my community, with the loss of my neighbors. I watched my community die down. My grandchildren, as they're growing up, I see the lack of what nurturing that was once in the community now being absent from the community. So when folks say, how did you start? Well, I often say I started with a crate and a table on the corner. But the truth of the matter is I started by just growing up right there on that cornerstone of Yellowstone.
And you had a passion to see your community grow and not deteriorate.
For sure. Watching neighbors be put out of their homes, watching massive water shut-offs, watching the job losses, watching my baby suffering as well, seeing many mothers in need of, just knowing that it was breaking my heart. Just knowing that these things that were becoming part of an everyday way of life was not the way of life I wanted to live in. So I knew I needed to do something. I think my grandson said it best. Grandma, we the kids, we need you, Grandma. We need you. Oh. We need you to do something, Grandma. We can do something.
Isn't that wonderful when your children and grandchildren let you know you're on the right track, and it just comforts your heart when they say
because
things like that.
You've given them a sense of knowing that
that's leaving a legacy.
And there's something not right that needs to be changed.
Yeah.
And if our babies can see these things need to be changed, well, come on. We need to take the blinders off and open our eyes and see these things too and help them with these changes.
So tell me, how many homes do you currently have?
Well, I say I don't have any. I say the community and the village, on the other hand, they have the 6 houses that we have over there. And they are in possession of the lots that are over there with the programs that we host. So I don't have anything. I say the community has it. My villagers have it. We have the 5 houses. We have the 4 lots.
So you have 5 houses.
Lots. I'm sorry. We have
4 lots.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And with each one, there are, well, I like to say threefold: program, residential, and community-based. So, and with that, there's either a program being ran out of the house, residents finding emergency shelter in the homes, or the homes have community-based uses. So, again, they're either
When you
or.
say the homes have community-based uses, what do you do community-wise in the homes?
Well, from our warming center to offering up the free medical clinic with resources inside of that, to our nutrition food pantry, Pop It, Drop It food program.
Pop it,
drop it. Pull up, pop your trunk, and we'll drop in food items.
So when do you do your food? Is this is for
community? Anyone you pull up there, you pop your trunk. We will drop in dog food, cat food, diapers, hygiene kits. As they say, if Auntie Nay gets her hands on it, you name it, she's putting it back out there to the community.
Okay. When do you do your Pop It, Drop It?
That's our Saturday food program.
Saturday is at what time?
Yes, from 12:30 until, well, we used to say 12:30 to 3, but now I have to say 12:30 until supplies last. Because usually they don't
People
last
are going around because, and this is another thing, let me share this, that there are a lot of people looking for food, and Gleaners and Forgotten Harvest give out food Monday through Sunday in various locations all over the city. In your area, if you're calling us from whatever state you're calling from, there are food pantries that are government funded that are giving out free food in your community. Find out what they are. For us, it's Gleaners and Forgotten Harvest.
Well, and the
many other smaller ones.
And the problem with a lot of those is they're generally conducive to certain food banks. Many of your community members aren't able to get to many of these food banks. most of them have a hard time getting transportation just to and from on a norm.
So then you've got places like your Pop It, Drop It to make it available in the community. And there are
exactly, and that's what we're trying to do is create little hubs in the community areas. First of all, so that community members don't have so far to go to obtain food.
They can walk.
They can walk.
Yes.
Walk right
and there
up.
are many others. There's one on
there's not as
Friday.
many as you would think, and when you think about the supplies in demand, there's really not enough to meet the demand. Think about it like this. During Thanksgiving, even though certain places had 3,000, 5,000 turkeys to pass out, how many people were herded in these lines for that one day, for that one event, trying to obtain this food? So when you're looking at someone with a family of 5 or more, and they're trying to obtain food, well, my little food hub is good for this day, but what about the next day, and the day after, and the day after? So now this becomes your job every day, standing in a line trying to obtain food at food hubs to make you. That's not conducive to everyday living.
I will say that I'm glad that we've got these
several
different food
I am
things.
too.
And I'm glad that now what I was sharing a minute ago is that Gleaners and Forgotten Harvest will post on their Facebook pages or their website every location, and they have locations all around the metro area. Yes, there need to be more. So there are other places that give out food, and there's more. In America, there should never be anybody hungry.
Issue, period.
We have too much food.
Our
we have the
children,
resources. Nobody should be going hungry in America. I can't speak for other countries, and we do all that we can to help other countries. But here in the United States of America, there should be no hungry. Nobody's people should not be hungry.
The people in the United States should not.
Food.
Thank you.
We throw away too much food. That's wasteful. And I could get on a tangent about that.
Well, and I'm glad that there are other organizations out there that are now recycling that food and bringing it back, putting it back on the tables of. I mean, I'll say again, from food rescue to food sovereignty to the many different food programs around that are trying to aid and assisting, and even down to Auntie Nay's Village, to our community gardens, who I really give hats off. Yes. It takes a lot to get out there, and
you see so many community gardens,
and it's great because they're needed. I mean, when I think of those that are dedicating their time to devote into, I'm not one. Auntie Nay wants the garden. I love the garden. I love eating out the garden. But I am sorry, I'm not messing with the bugs. The bugs don't mess with Auntie Nay. Now, Mr. Zeke, you and your worms and fishing, and Carla, you and your, I'm all good with that. I'll give you the space. I love to go fish too.
Okay. I'll take the worms and break them in half with my finger.
No, see, I'll take them and I'll smush them with the and then I'll take it and stick it on the hook. And again, the community gardeners, I'll say again, hats off. You guys are awesome. Because many of the grocery stores, the prices are either too high or the food just isn't conducive to what you need to be taking your intake in your household.
Do you all serve meals?
We do.
What days do you serve?
Well, and that's just it. Right now, thanks to Lowe's, we're in the process of creating our nutrition house now. And with that, we hope in come the spring of this year, of 2023, it will be complete, and we will be serving our hot meals on a more daily basis now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Right now, we just do the Pop It, Drop It, and on holidays and our bazaars, we do food. We cook up, we put out, we prepare.
Trying to bring up another place at Greater St. John de Church is going to be serving meals, but after we did that whatever we just did on Facebook, I can't seem to get back to my normal page to tell you. But Greater St. John Church in Detroit, that is located on, it's over near Harper and 94 area, and they're going to be serving meals I think the 17th of December. If I can pull it up, I will be able to share that information. But tell us some of the other services that Auntie Nay's house provides. You said the Pop-It, and you mentioned medical.
We have a free medical clinic that is ran by the Wayne State medical students as well as Dr. Apple. And I'm grateful to them. Because of them, we've been able to, go from just putting out free medical treatments to the community, blood pressure, glucose. We don't do brain surgeries there, but, we can meet some of the most.
Where is that, and how do people get
And again, that's
connected?
every Saturday now, as we started to come out of COVID, and our students are allowed to come back and service the public. We're opened every Saturday from 12 to 3 as well.
And where are you located?
And that's at 12041 Yellowstone Street. As it stands right now, all programs except for our Secret Santa Christmas program will be discontinued until the first of the year, where we'll be reopening again at the first of the year. Right now,
the Secret Santa, is that the toys?
Oh yes,
that you gave me the number for, and
Yes,
I was
ma'am.
sharing with people
Yes,
that needed
ma'am.
toys. So
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
closed right now.
That's closed right now.
Okay,
We
but
just
it will
closed it.
reopen.
That program is
And
closed.
I told several people.
Oh,
whether
we've
they
had
called,
a lot call. In fact, I'm
good.
so thankful to United Way for blessing us
Uh-huh.
with United Way board members
Okay.
have blessed Auntie Nay's house, Auntie Nay's village, with Christmas gifts. So we're going through them. Bikes for Kids and Zales Credit Union. Our village will become a toy wonderland for our babies over there at the village.
Wonderful.
And we are so honored because, again, most of the time we as adults forget that our everyday, day-to-day stress trickles down to our children. And I think the energy that the world needs is children's laughter right now. We don't hear enough.
And
of
you
that.
don't see enough
You don't
children
see
playing.
it. You don't. And that
outside.
laughter is no longer there. And the world needs that energy. We
And
need
the
that
children
energy.
need it.
The
They
children
need to be able
that
to go
energy.
out and be able to be creative and play outside, and not
And
have
that's
to
a
worry
lot of
about
what we do at the
getting
village.
shot or
No.
just becoming accustomed to just playing on their tablets and their
that's just it.
their phones. They
Nope,
don't.
nope.
They need more.
We want
than
the
that.
kids to come and be kids, where that they're able to realize that the village is their playground. The village is theirs. From learning from the medical students, which Dr. Rhonda and the students that came down from Michigan State, they were awesome. They spent time with the babies and my Wayne State babies. They teach the kids different medical things. Those are the things that A, tell my babies I can be anybody I want to be, but B, it tells them that I'm important enough for you to come to where I'm at and meet me where I'm at and spend time with me there. But then the village is also their haven, because with that they get
So
a
you
sense.
have a lot of children.
Oh
of
yes.
The parents that are staying in your homes.
Not just those children in the
village.
village, the parents that stay there. I have children that are at my house before I can open my doors in the morning.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And again,
well, before they go to school.
some before they go to school, some during summer camp. You should see them. They sitting up there waiting on me like I'm the one running late with opening my doors in the morning. But again, it's theirs. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
It's for them to go back. And I've had many of the children be the ones to bring the parents to the village. No, Auntie Nay is giving us this. No, Auntie
tell
Nay
us
is
you-
offering
you're-
that.
Are all of your homes are on Yellowstone?
Yes.
And that's it.
Almost all but the one home, which is the Elmhurst home. It's on Elmhurst. It sits directly on Elmhurst. And it's that crazy blue house that you drive by and wonder, who would have painted that? Well, Auntie Nay did. And our shipping container that sit next to it, which is our clothing program that's adjacent. And we
I
offer
be able
free
to tell
clothes.
people how to get connected with some of the services that you're providing.
You can call or you can email, or you can just reach out and stop by if you're on your way. It's
So what
Auntie
number?
Nay's house at gmail.com, or you can contact me at 313-808-8940, or you can
Say that again. 808
8940. Again,
8940. So that's
313-808-8940.
or they can go to
Or
Auntie Nay's house as AUNTIENAS
HOUSC.
HOUSC@gmail.com.
That would be correct.
Okay. So you provide free medical clinic. Listen, this is community updates. Free medical clinic
Yes, ma'am.
is provided on Saturdays
Yes,
from
ma'am.
12 to 3. And then on Saturdays also,
Our Pop It Drop It
Pop
food
It Drop It.
program.
And that starts at 12 noon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so right after the medical clinic,
Right
then
after,
you can get some food to
you can
feed
get
your
some
belly.
food, or you can get some food, pick up your food, and go see the doctor right after. Either
Okay.
way it go. And hopefully you'll be able to stop by and get a hot meal as soon as our nutrition home is open. Thanks again to Lowe's. We've got our community garden area. You're more than welcome to go there and pick your
So
own
you do?
fresh.
I thought you had a. I thought
Oh
I
yes,
read
we
that you-
do.
You just
yes,
don't
do.
work in the
I just don't
community
work it. I don't mess
You
with
don't
Mr.
mess with
Zeke's
bugs.
garden. Last time I messed with Mr. Zeke's gardens, me and some students pulled up some of the wrong things out that garden. So we're gonna leave Mr. Zeke's garden alone. But no,
Now, is
Mr.
this garden located on Yellowstone?
Yes,
too?
ma'am, it is. We
So
have the
you've got
garden
a
there.
lot there in the community. I'm gonna have to go by and.
Oh
look.
yes, we've got our community garden, our picnic area, our playground area. We've got
I
our
saw
little
your
music on the
wonderful
mound
website.
area, and thanks to Detroit Future City, we were able to create a mound up there where we consider it our little surprise star area, along with our memory tree that sits up there. But again, the village is conducive to meeting the needs of the community, and it's when I say our interdependence, it's based on depending on each other. That's how the village is ran. The village is ran by those of the village in the community who's running their community village, and
how
that
long
includes
do
the
people
children.
stay in your homes?
I would like to say they stay for 90 days, but for some reason they become family and they don't ever really leave. They just keep coming back. And
So
that's
thus
okay.
You end up needing more properties.
Yeah, well, you need more properties, but you find that you have more loved ones, and that's what I feel
love that I read. It says Auntie Nay's Village is a place where everybody knows your name, and you're always glad you came.
Yes, ma'am.
And I used to watch
With
Cheers,
Cheers,
so I
yes.
love that.
So when I heard that initially, I was like, well, I don't know. Do you always want folks to know that you're here at the village? And yet I see when
Yes.
people come through there, hey, okay, everybody wants to know that you're here.
Yes.
You want to be known. And I think that's what it is with the kids, the reason why they love the village, because they're identified, they're recognized,
loved.
they're noticed,
I
and
heard
they're
the love in
loved.
your voice when I spoke to you on the phone for the first time, and when I was reading your materials, and what I wrote it right here. I've heard the love in your voice when I spoke to you the very first time.
I love
And that's
my
what
babies.
people want. They need. Everybody wants to be loved.
And they do.
The flowers want to be loved. The trees
do.
want to be loved. Definitely, people we want.
And
to
one
be
of our
loved.
slogans is all of life is intertwined, everything. And that's what we try to make sure you know. One of what they usually say with me is, with Auntie Nay, you 2 legs, 4 flipper fin beaks. If you make it to the gate, she'll bring you through the door. Well, if you check around the village, you'll find I got the 2 legs, I've got the 4 legs, I've got the beaks, I've got the flippers, I've got the fins. If you made it to the gate, I brought you through the door. And it's so sweet because I love the little jingle with the green beans, the green beans. Young
Tomatoes
man,
and potatoes.
yes, the young man came through there and he did one. He said, "You talking about Auntie Nay's? Oh, she got 2 legs, 4 legs, flipper fin, beaks. She got goats, hens, turtles, dogs, frogs, goats, roosters, you name it," and started all over. And I just thought it was so awesome. But then when I started singing it to myself, I'm like, wait a minute. He's right. We got 2 legs. We got the dogs. We got the cats. We got the frogs. We got the turtles. We got the goats. We got the hens. We got the roosters. I got the kids.
So you have a farm.
I've got it all there. Well, I guess, but in one condition, you can
said
say I've got
goats?
the village.
You literally have
yes,
goats
we
and things
literally
like
have
that?
goats, and I have found that during COVID,
Do you drink goat milk?
I don't. I got a young lady that deals with making the goat milk and
I've
doing
drank
the
goat milk
cheese, and my mom loves it. It's not my forte, but that's okay. I know it's more healthier for us, but see, and Auntie Nay is just like you and anybody else. I like my junk food, my potato chips. I'll go eat my tomatoes and my cucumbers out my garden. And I get out there and run and play with the kids. But I get a sense of the reality that we face day to day. And I also know what my moms are dealing with. I know what my babies are going through. I know what the grandmothers are suffering from. I know what it's like to have your utilities shut off.
What's the average age of some of the people that are in your home?
I don't. It varies.
Okay, so you
it
have
varies.
young people.
I have them young, older. I mean, if you think about when you say the age of people, if I'm taking in moms, I'm taking in babies. If I'm taking in the older single women or domestic violence, that can range as well.
Do you have space right now for women and children?
I have no space, which is one of the reasons why my heart is also disheartened, because I have other properties right now that were damaged by other properties, and I need repairs on it. I can't afford to get these things done right now with managing the village. So did you get any of your properties
through the nuisance abatement or repair?
I got them through the land bank. The village was able to be purchased mostly through the land bank. Most of the lots and the homes came through Detroit Land Bank.
So do they allow you, I know with the nuisance abatement and repair to own that we used to have, I don't think they have too many properties left anymore up under that area, but they would allow you, as long as a home was being fixed up, you didn't have to pay taxes.
I don't know about that. I've had to pay taxes. I've not gotten the tax relief yet.
That was I'm hoping to. When they had those programs.
No, we've worked on the homes as we purchased them, fixed them up, integrated programs, or moved someone in there.
So what do you have a need for that we can let our listeners know? And listeners, please feel free to call in at area code 313-355-6018. Maybe you're even in another state and you're listening this evening and you want to share with Auntie Nay on how maybe some things that you're doing that might help with what she's doing. Or maybe you know someone in the area and you want to make them aware of what you're doing at Auntie Nay's house. I'm also a Lions Club member, and Lions Club International is the largest service organization in the world. And so one of the things, we do many things between childhood cancer and diabetes and just everything, seeing, hearing, getting eyeglasses for children or adults that need them. But one of the other things that we're doing is we collect furniture. So if people have furniture that they want to give, and what I found is that there are many people that have items, furniture and home goods, salt and pepper shakers, pictures that go up on the wall, things that we just aren't using and sitting in the storage room, and they don't want them to be sold at the
and
place.
That's where we usually get most of those items. Yes, ma'am.
So
and they'll
we collect them, and I've been collecting them, and we give them out to other people. Yes.
We have a giving heart.
Yes.
We're able to take those things that folks have that they want to give, and they just don't know where to give. They don't necessarily want it to go to the Salvation Army,
or
St.
Goodwill,
Vincent, or to be resold. They want to give it to someone that's going to give it back. And we have a way of gathering those items. I'm told I'm a hoarder. I hoard. Auntie Nay, you got, and I guess you could say to a degree that's what started Auntie Nay's, with that crate and that table on the corner. I gathered up the items that my children had left behind, and I had left behind, and my siblings. Again, 6 generations of stuff piled up there in that house on that cornerstone of Yellowstone. So you got
rid of a lot of it or placed it in different areas?
I was able to put it out there in a crate and on the table, and from that it was take what you want, leave what you don't. And because of that, a whole program was integrated from that. Our bike program, thanks to Miss Jean and Chris Pott and the Wrench crew, and now we pass out bikes at Christmas with our Secret Santa bike program, thanks to Bikes for Kids. It started with just putting out my kids' old bikes. They weren't doing anything with them. Our book library, it started from just putting out books. Schools were throwing them away. Went and picked them up, brought them back, put them back out there.
I think reading books is still very good.
And I think it's very important because you're touching and you're turning and you're absorbing. The kids nowadays, I don't think they retain the knowledge and information that they obtain.
My grandchildren.
I do too.
I love reading, but even though I think in school now they read a lot of things on their tablets.
And they don't retain a lot of it because it's just going through and scrolling through it and keeping it going.
And there's something about reading to them where you can make it exciting and getting to use your imagination and tone of voice. And my mother used to do that too.
And the creative voices you can use for the characters and things like that. And I think the kids get involved in those things. We had, during our summer camp program, we had this wonderful lady that came and did her beautiful book reading. In fact, the gentleman that brought his mom there to do the wonder, I can't think of her name right now. Oh, I feel so at bay. She did a reading with the children, and the way she acted out the reading, I mean, she just engulfed them in this world of, and they were just, oh. And I say they don't get that anymore. Nowadays, it's everything on the television, and it's just put out there. But when they did that, I watched.
Too much on the television.
I watched the little minds twirling, like, how did that look? What does that? And that intrigued our babies. And we need to find a way that it's not on the tablet or the television all the time, but that it's in a more captivating way that we too can get into. That's why I was thinking when you said the opera and classical music, it's broadening their horizons. It's not just keeping them captivated on this one little set screen, and I think that definitely makes a big difference.
I remember the first opera that I took my grandson to. He's 11 now, and I took him to his first one when he was like 3, and it was a children's opera, so he saw children up there doing little dances in their little tutus and so forth, and he said, "Granny, those are little princesses."
See?
And it was just the sweetest little thing.
See?
He was just in awe of what he was seeing. He said, "They look like little princesses, Granny," and they did.
And that's and when I think about those kinds of moments, I think about my sister and I when we were younger, and my stepmom took us to the Ice Capade.
Yeah.
Now, I personally did not have fun sitting there being cold. My sister, on the other hand,
Loved it.
excuse me, she loved it. Her world was lit up. And I often think about how she just seemed to be just so captivated. And when we left, all she kept thinking about was this wonderful skating ring that she saw, and this beautiful young lady that she seen dance around on skates. Don't tell her she wasn't going to be an ice skater, but is that not where those dreams start
Exactly.
from? Now,
That's
today she probably can't ice skate, but she's looking forward to doing what? Taking her granddaughter now
I
ice
have one
skating.
son that I birthed, but I'm always, when I was raising my son, you would always see me with 5 to 6 children.
That would be
because
me.
I believe in exposing other children, and I just love it. I love playing with the kids. Now I have 3, 4 grandchildren, but I always have 5, 6, 7 children with me because I love taking them and exposing them to various things.
Different things.
And I think that's very important because it helps spawn their imagination.
And it gives them the ability to realize that the world is not
just your
right
4
there.
corners. Exactly.
And that's one of the reasons why when before I started Auntie Nays, kind of like you, I was that Kool-Aid mom.
Yeah.
All the kids hung out at my house.
Yes.
All the kids were there. You were looking for your child, go around Auntie Nays' house. And at the time they called me Mama Nay. But it became too many kids to keep on mothering, so we spread that out a little bit. But I would always gather them up and take them places and open their world up. And most of the time, most of the children would tell my children, "I don't like you. I like your mom. I want to stay here with your house and be at your house." And it was things like that that just led me to believe that I wonder what my kids would go say when they would be over there. And one day my son said, "No, Mom, you don't understand. Being here is being a part of something. And that's what everybody wants to be."
And you're going to watch, and you probably already have, many of the children that you're nurturing and mothering and helping, because that will be a refuge for many of them.
Oh,
as
they've
well.
come back.
And they come back.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
And you see them
yes.
go on to greater
yes.
things and know that there's more. There's a huge world out there for them. And whatever you want to do, you can do.
And that's one of the things I love about some of the moms that have come there to the village and have now moved on. I've got certain ones that I take a little bit more, and I know you shouldn't hold that, but a little bit more for it. I mean, they left the village, and not only did they take their new interdependence and march out here into this brave new world, as I tell them they're entering into, but they took that and they planted some seeds, and they allowed those seeds to take root. And now these young women are now their own entrepreneurs. I think about Miss Nita. Her and her Miss Fabulicious, and it's a clothing line for larger women.
Okay.
And again, it's a sexier
Well,
clothing
I'm a large
line.
woman, so I got to get in touch with Fabulicious.
We see Miss Fabulicious, and I love it because again, her creativity is just that.
Yes.
It gave her a chance to develop her and her self-esteem initially when she came to the village. A mother of 6, and we used to call her the 7 J's because it was 7 of her and children.
Okay.
And
they all have the J names.
They all had the J names, but they have grown into with her own business. Another young lady, Simply Pretty, is what she's called, Simply Pretty Chick. She does designer nails and things, and she's always fussing at me about not keeping mine done up. But I tell her, when you're running around chasing kids and dogs and cats and goats and
chickens,
and you're pulling on food boxes and you're tugging clothes and you just don't seem to get that pretty going on. But
well, I think you look beautiful.
Well, I thank you, my love, as well as yourself. But it's young women like them that have found their way there at that village. And even my niece, and they say sometimes, oh, well, you shouldn't need because it's family. Well, no, my niece found herself in need, and that need brought her there to the village. And the need there gave her other resources that she has now marched into her own business with. And because she remembered those resources, when she decided to start herself with her own business, she reached back there and got those resources there.
And that's important.
And it is.
Reach back and give back.
There
paying
you go.
It forward.
Yes.
We all have different stories and things that we've gone through. I think I was sharing with you before we
were
came
sharing
on.
that. Yes.
I have my own story.
Yes.
There was a period in my life, I didn't grow up this way. I didn't grow up, but there was a period in my life where I became homeless. And I went through a program called the Maiden House on 6 Mile in Woodward. But actually, the home that I lived in was on Mack and Gratiot. That was like saying Yugoslavia to me because I grew up on the west side of Detroit. I think I was sharing with you. I used to walk to Northland before it was an enclosed mall. So Mack and Gratiot was saying, you might as well say Yugoslavia. I know what that was. I didn't know anything about the whole area. But that home of love and nurturing and provided a place for me to get my life together and to be still from the rest of the outside world and see what Michelle needed to do. I said, I've done something majorly wrong and missed something really serious in this Bible for me to end up in a shelter. So God, whatever it is, I need you to teach me all over again, like I'm brand spanking new.
You go.
And teach
and
me.
that's what I like to say. You can come to the village and get your body gets fed, your mind gets a sense of peace, your spirit can sit up there and work and meditate on what's troubling you, and your heart gets a chance to fill itself again with love,
with our
and you
whatever
get
our issues are.
I was getting ready to say, and you get a chance to sit up there and reveal to yourself what you feel is hindering you, what you think you might need, and how we can help you at the village create and plant them seeds that you need so that you can go forth and have that bountiful harvest that we know that the village seems to bring to everyone that comes there.
I feel you providing a village of love.
Well, and I try
helps
to.
people grow.
I say
Just
it's
like
not my love,
grow.
it's our love, because again, that unity in that.
But it started with your grandparents, probably.
It did. It started with them loving me enough to give up and sacrifice their senior years to take me on at an age and time where life was troubling for me, and to give me those roots. Because this was your
grandparents' home.
Yes, well,
it started out and they left it. Tell me the story there.
Well, it started with my grandparents' home. They grew up. I grew up there. My grandparents raised me.
Wait
my mom.
I need to do a station identification. I keep forgetting that you're supposed to do one every few minutes. So you tune in. We know you're here. You can catch us on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. We are on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the land, and you can reach us at 313-355-6018. Call in, let Auntie Nay know you're here. Let me know you're here. Some of you listen, just say, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm listening. I'm sure you told some of your villagers.
Oh, the villagers know we're here. The Facebook friends know we're here. The Instagram friends know we're here. Everyone knows we are here this evening.
And some people get nervous and don't want to call. I run into people all the time and say, hey, I listened to your show. Hey, I was watching your show. I said, well, did you call in? No, I didn't want to call in. Oh, I got nervous.
I hear that a lot of times when I'm doing interviews and things. The first thing they'll say is, I wanted to say something. Why didn't you? Remember, closed mouths don't get fed. And I find that even a lot with Auntie Nay's Village. Mothers will say, well, I needed something. Well, why didn't you say so? I didn't know if I should. If we don't tell others, and we grew up with that kind of concept, got to keep quiet. You don't tell these things.
And you don't let counselors. You don't let it
and
out.
That's
or
such
if you're
a stigma.
Man, you definitely don't keep your mouth closed.
You don't cry. You don't let
cry.
it.
That is
we
so
need
wrong.
to stop those stigmas because again,
that
it has
trauma.
It has hurt us.
Traumas.
It has hurt us.
Yes.
It has hurt us.
Yes.
It has hurt us. Our children have gone with lack. Our elderly have gone.
And people are just holding things
and
in
it
that
affects
they need to
us
get out.
physically, our health. It affects us mentally, our mental status. It affects us as a generation of people, as a nation of people. If I don't tell you what I need, how do you know I have a need?
Exactly.
If I don't tell you I hurt, how do you know what hurts me?
Another.
That unity
we're not
has
an
to come
island.
back.
We're a whole planet of people.
Yes, we
and
are.
our lights are to shine and help one another.
If
That's
we
why
don't,
we've got community updates. I'm here to help.
If we don't come together,
yes,
we're going to continue to fall apart.
Yes.
We have to start coming together. It's no more me and mine. It's us and ours.
Now, I personally think and if we're talking, we're talking about people, period, but in the brown community, I think we need to come together and start living together, pooling our resources together, and then using that money to invest and buy properties and buy businesses.
Yes, ma'am.
And invest in other things.
Yes,
because we don't seem to have it. We spend too much, and so we need to pool our resources and come together.
And we need to spread the resources. We need to let others know. We have that mind concept that if I got this, if I tell you about it, you're going to take from that, and I may not have it next.
That divide and conquer.
We've got to learn that if I got a blessing, you've got a blessing.
Yes.
You got a blessing, he's got a blessing.
Yes.
He's got a blessing, she's got a blessing.
And we're blessed to be a blessing.
And then we're all blessed.
And we're all blessed.
But if we continue to selfishly, and as my baby say, you being stingy. You being stingy with what you've got. What happens when yours run out? How you gonna come to me and ask me for what I got? You didn't give me none of yours. And just that in a kid's concept. You didn't share with me, I don't want to share with you. Don't always mean everybody around is going to be that generous, kind-hearted person.
And it doesn't even mean that the person that you shared with is going to share back with you. But as long as we keep an open heart, open
it'll
hands,
keep us
somebody will give back to us.
It'll keep a supply source.
Yes.
As my grandmother said, if you keep that hand closed, then you can't get nothing in it. If you don't open it up, may it be to let go or to receive.
Yes.
You've got to open it.
That's true.
You've got to open it.
That
so
is
open
true.
it. Open it to let it go. Open it to receive.
And speaking of which, this weekend I need some men. Those of you who are listening, I need just maybe 2 more men. We've got furniture that we're delivering to a woman that is, she came here, she's 55 years old, got burned out of her home, has nothing. We took a mattress to her the other day, and the people, when they went in her home to deliver the mattress, the men were complaining, I don't want to do this. But when they took it up there, they saw she had nothing, a TV and a blow-up bed. So now we're taking more furniture to her this weekend, but I'm past 25 and I'm not really trying to move the furniture myself. I can help carry some stuff, but I need some strong men. I'm not one of these women that are trying to be, I'm
Come on, fellas.
I need some good men.
As I say, apply your hands to the land.
Exactly.
Put the muscles to work. Let's give them a helping hand.
8 to 12 p.m., 8 a.m. to 12 noon. We're looking at moving this furniture, just getting it from, it's in Utica, no. it's on Harper, but further down on Harper, and she's on Leland, and we're moving the furniture to her home from 8 a.m. to 12. We want to get it in and get it out. So
And
I need a
speaking of
few more
giving-
men. Wait a minute, let me give this number. Call me at 248-238-4863. Again, 248-238-4863. Need just a couple of men, just 2 or 3, to help move this furniture into this woman's home on this coming Saturday, the 10th. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
No, I was just going to say, speaking of giving, when our sons see their fathers and the men around applying their hands to helping out, and it's not dollars exchanging and that
Exactly.
always makes sense, but compassion and understanding, we start to train up a generation of gentlemen.
Yes.
And it's time that we go back to training up a generation of gentlemen.
Exactly.
We don't need any more thugs out
Exactly.
here. We don't need any more, as my grandson said, roughnecks.
Right.
We need some
need some
more
gentlemen.
gentlemen out here.
Real men.
And when I say gentlemen, I also encourage that intelligent gentlemen out here.
Yeah.
We've got enough fools.
Yeah.
We've got enough killers. We've got enough drug dealers. We've got enough thugs. Can we start getting more of our young men back on the road to righteousness?
Yes.
Because that is where that compassionate, caring, kind heart comes into play. And it takes one to see one. And when you showing your son, mama shows nurturing and love all the time.
Yeah.
Well, the majority
The
do.
majority.
The majority do. But when dad steps out and
Yes.
shows that gentle giant
Shows them
side
how.
to, you're training him to not only be compassionate to others, but to be a compassionate father,
Yeah.
to be a loving husband, to be a great grandfather. And they need that now more than ever.
More than ever.
Because this world has taught them that cruelty, hatred, racism, and murdering is a game, but it's not one to always be played fair.
And we need to be kind.
And we need to
Being
be kind.
kind is a good
If
thing.
COVID hasn't taught us that,
You could be
being
dead
that
tomorrow.
you could
How
be
many
dead.
people died during COVID?
How
that
many
never
people
thought they
have
would
you
be gone?
been considerate enough to help in your lifetime? What will your legacy say about you?
Yeah.
And I tell them all the time, I want my legacy to say, Auntie Nay's house created a village. That's the legacy I left behind. I took the house that my grandparents gave me and created a village that left behind a legacy that a generation left behind me can come along and take unto another generation.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be my children, doesn't have to be my grandchildren, but
The
it
children you
does
made an
have to
impact
be
on.
someone that cares enough
Yeah.
to make sure that that legacy goes on.
Yeah.
And that's the difference when you think about what I'm putting and planting the seeds of here at Auntie Nay's Village. I'm planting the seeds for the generation of them that says we don't want to be heard anymore. We don't want our cries not to be heard anymore. We don't want our voices to be whispers. We want them to be screams. We want to speak loud enough that we can speak for a generation yet to come. We want to give back to those that are due to come to receive,
Yes.
because we already received. And that's what I give my baby so that they can pass that on.
All right,
That's
Auntie
what I
Nay.
offer so that they can give it on.
Yes.
Or they can bring others there to find that so that they can plant those seeds into a generation that needs this love and this nurturing.
Yeah.
We've hurt long enough. It's time that we heal. And when we were talking in the room, that's one of the things I was speaking about. I hurt as a child, but I learned to heal. I may have been victimized, but you won't make me a victim forever.
Exactly.
And because of that, I've realized how we can take even those things and use those stepping stones to help others. Helping others is what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to do. It's not about doing it when you want to do it. It's not about doing it because you can do it. It's what you're supposed to do. You are supposed to be your brother and sister's keeper. You are supposed to be that neighbor that's neighborly.
Yes.
You are supposed to be. And that's what I try to be. I try to be that is righteous to my neighbor.
Well, you are doing it in Auntie Nay's Village. And so tell us again, people want to become a part of your program, or be a part of the free clinic, or they can call you at 313-808-8940.
Correct.
And they can go to your website, which is a wonderful website.
Thank you.
And Auntie Nay's House at gmail.com, and I'm going to spell that AUNTIENASHOUSE at gmail.com. So we're so glad that you've come to be our guest today, and I'm looking forward to working with you more and helping to get some furniture to some of the people that transition from your
homeless program.
Yes.
As again, we offer the homeless shelter that we take in with the women, children, and we have found men as well find themselves in that situation. So again, Auntie Nay's don't discriminate with that. Our baby program, our medical clinic, our nutrition, food, pandemic program,
and your warming center.
Our warming center, which is open as well during the winter months.
Do they call that same number?
They can call that same number.
Yes,
as you find the temperatures drop below zero, we do open up and take you in. It's a little warming hub. We ask you to come on in out of the cold, get a cup of coffee, a nice sandwich, do a puzzle, have fun, listen to a game.
Are there any needs that you have that you can
like many organizations right now, and I guess Auntie Nay's is no different. Right now, operational costs to maintain and sustain that organization is so prevalent right now.
Do you have a Cash App, or how would you like people to give
we
financially?
We actually have a Flip Cause site that you can go Flip Cause page that you can go to, and you can donate at our
What is a Flip Call page?
It's Flip Cause. That's a donation site. But if if you go to the web page, it's a link.
There.
Yes, ma'am. It's a link right there on there, and it'll take you directly to the site, and you can donate right there. Or you are welcome at any point in time. As I often tell folks, stop on by the village. I love it when you get a chance, even if you don't have $5, $10. If you got an hour, stop by the village and chat with me. If you got 10 minutes, come by and spend some time. Watch the children run and play. Bring back some of your youth in mind. Let your heart soar over in there. And again, for everyone that has come there to the village, and that's what I love about the creation of it, from my Oberlin babies, I call them my OBs, to my Wayne State, to the community, to all above. When they found their way to that village, they found them there. And that's what I like. I like it when that person finds that, this is me. This is what I want to do. That's that moment that says, I love you. Much love from the village.
And I love that you said you have medical students. I do some of the interviewing for students that want to get into Wayne State's medical program.
Oh, wow.
I'm one of the interviewers.
Oh, wow.
And they are huge. You've got to have community
service.
Yes,
you
do. They do not want you to just be, I want to be a doctor. But what are you doing to help in the community?
And those students come and dedicate themselves, literally. And I'll give it to Dr. Apple. He don't give them any slack. It may not be a full-fledged hospital. We're not doing brain surgery, not doing open hearts, but our students have ended up with 2 of their theses in the medical journal from cases there at our little clinic.
Wonderful.
So that in itself brings pride to our students.
A house is a place for students, a place where if you want to volunteer, teach your children how to give back in the community, you can come and see Auntie Nay's. Go to the website, go check out, just go over to Yellowstone. What is that address again on Yellowstone?
always advise everyone to stop there at the main house, which is 12028 Yellowstone. The medical clinic, which sits directly across the street at 12041. Our nutrition house, which thanks to Lowe's we're creating now, is 12049.
You've got good partners.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'll say again, the Lord has blessed me from Kresge's grants that we got with the KIPD to do our medical house and to create over there at the village and to help with the pandemic food pantry program, which created the whole nutrition program, our bike program, our emergency shelter, our clothing program, our after school tutoring. Our Wayne State babies cover a lot of our tutoring program. When I say I love my Oberlin, my Wayne State, my Michigan State, when I say my Michigan babies, when it come down to our college students showing up and showing out, Auntie Nays has been honored with that. They have showed up and showed out.
We are so glad that we've had you here today on Community Updates.
Thank
and for
you.
those of you who are watching, we want you to tune in next week. We're going to have give you some more wonderful information. We have another person that's going to be sharing some wonderful things. Tune in next Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on WJZZ Cool TV. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We're done.
Thank you so much for
Oh,
coming.
you're welcome. You're welcome. This was lovely.
Yes.